Welcome to the Charlotte Business Podcast, where ideas take flight and dreams exist. From uptown streets to South End beats, Charlotte's growing with a new elite. We talk to the makers, movers, and shakers, entrepreneurs, and the big risk takers. If you're starting out or building strong, this is where you belong. It's the Charlotte Business Podcast. Every story, every plan, where local dreams meet the Queen City's land.
Hi, and welcome to the Charlotte Business Podcast, aka the Charlotte Biz Pod. I'm your host, Ashley Boti. I'm the CEO of B2 Financial Group, a vibrant virtual tax firm, and the co-founder of B2F University Tax Academy. So thank you for tuning in. The CLT Biz Pod was created to showcase the vibrant entrepreneurial spirit here in the city of Charlotte, as well as the diverse business landscape. We aim to inform, inspire, unite, and uplift our viewers and listeners by providing valuable insights and stories from local entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators like my very special guest who's here with us today. Before we get into the interview, I want to share where you can listen and watch all of our episodes. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are being distributed. For your viewing pleasure, you can catch us on YouTube. Awesome. Joining us today is Chef Josh Kitchens. Josh is the creative force behind Wrap and Roll CLT, a popular food truck known for its chef-inspired handhelds that bring bold flavors to the city of Charlotte. Growing up on a farm, Josh was deeply influenced by his grandmother, Mary Kitchens, whose passion and mastery in the kitchen shaped his culinary vision. With her guidance, he developed a deep appreciation for fresh ingredients and soulful cooking, which now shines through in every dish he creates. As a private chef and food truck owner, Chef Josh continues to honor his roots by delivering unforgettable food experiences that reflect his heritage and love for cooking. So guys, welcome Josh.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Awesome. So let's get into it. So share a little bit about your journey to becoming a personal chef and food truck owner.
Well, I think the journey kind of coincided, right? So it all started, I guess, I was working in my corporate job, I would say 9 to 5, but it was more like 9 to 9, 9 to 10. And I got an opportunity to go out and cook for a friend of the general manager of the hotel. And from there, everything has kind of unfolded for me. I met the guy, we became business partners, and quitting my job. To this day, we're still business partners. So he's a partner of mine within the food truck. He still throws gigs my way to come out and go these different places and cook with these different individuals. So it's been a blessing, and so they kind of coincide to answer your question.
Nice, fantastic. So that's awesome that you were able to partner with someone. So you said he's a general manager?
Yeah, so the story went, the general manager of my hotel, he had some friends that was looking for a personal chef. And they reached out to him, he asked if I was interested, and I said yes. I went out to a small island, Vinyl Maine, which is like off the coast of Maine, by the coast. And I connected with his family that I never met, and then the husband, shout out to Bob, he introduced me to like presidents of MIT, Tufts University, Harvard University, and from there, like I was just getting these catering gigs to go out. One day he was just like, "What do you want to do with your career?" I was like, "Well, of course, I'm a black man in Charlotte. I want to own my own business at some point and do my own thing." He was like, "We'll do it. I got you. Let's whatever you want to do, let's do it." So we played around with a few ideas, and I didn't know a lot about owning a business, so I wanted to go small rounds. It was a food truck and see what happens. So we did it, we tried it, and it worked, and we're still breathing. So it's been a blessing for sure.
That's exciting. That's super awesome. I love your story. So what inspired your passion for cooking, and how did you turn that passion into a career?
Then, like you mentioned earlier, I'm from a small town, Madison, Georgia. I grew up on a farm. We didn't do a lot of shopping in the stores. My grandmother, she grew her own product. We had livestock, so we ate good. Don't get it wrong. We ate good. But we lived off the land, right? So, I mean, being by her side and seeing her like whip up these bills, it was man, I might be able to do that. So after high school, I was like, what do you want to do? I don't know one thing at this point, right? So I'll go with it. And so I have.
Awesome. All right, and so I know you talked about having your partner. Were there any other mentors or significant influences who kind of helped shape your culinary path?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say growing up, my childhood was a little bit different, right? So I had my grandmother on one end who taught me the lay of the land, and then my neighbor who he bought the farm next door. Shout out to Bruce Weiner. He owned Double Bubble for quite some years, and I got close to him. Kind of took me in, and I just traveled with him, his family, and I think just being able to being exposed to going to these restaurants and trying this food, that kind of developed my palate. There was a sense on one spectrum, and on the other end, it was more farm to table. So I grew up with the best of both worlds, and having both influences to kind of create my own path. I think that was definitely, I would say, he's definitely an influential mentor that helped shape what I wanted to do for sure. So I had a lot of mentors along the way. Been blessed.
I'd love to hear that. So, oftentimes, me being an entrepreneur myself, and I work with nothing but entrepreneurs and business owners, a lot of times getting into business or starting your own business, coming into entrepreneurship, people don't understand how important it is to have a mentor, to have a coach. What would you say to someone else that wants to start their own business or become a chef?
Oh, for sure. I think number one is find someone that you admire and try to reach out to them and connect with them and learn their journey. That person's journey may be completely different from yours, but as long as you have some insight on what to expect in the future, I think that's a huge piece. Even before you invest any money, that's a huge piece just to know, the business structure that someone else went through, so you can piggyback off of that in a sense. So definitely connect with someone, a chef, or if you want to do a restaurant, maybe a restaurant owner, a new time owner that can give you the dirt, what you're going to get coming up, because it's not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I tell people all the time, entrepreneur is not for the weak. Entrepreneurship
No,
is
it's not.
tough.
No, but
So I love that you said that you had mentors and people along the way that kind of guided your journey, because that's super important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced running a food truck, and how did you overcome them?
Oh man. I think our biggest challenge was probably we opened right before COVID, maybe 6 months before COVID happened. We were getting the juice, we're getting the flow, and then all of a sudden the city shuts down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know what to do. Everyone shut down. We all had to be inside. They put us on the curfew, and at that point, I'd already quit my full-time job, so I'm all in. I'm not qualifying for a PPP or any of that stuff because I'm fresh in the business. I have no documents to submit to get this thing done. So for us, it was you got to grind it out. So we found out what the restrictions were, and we planned accordingly. We offered free meals to kids because we know the kids weren't in school. We did a lot of things to kind of help bring people to us, and we were one of the first to do it, right? We were one of the first to really still stick to the guns and still go out, and it worked out in my favor. It did. Keeping the wheels turning worked out in my favor, believe it or not. You think that people weren't out and you're just wasting money, but if you're not out, you're not making money anyways, right? So I think that was hard to overcome, but we made it. We made it.
Did it?
Yeah,
awesome.
we made it.
No, that's fantastic. So I even came to the food truck a few times during the COVID period. And I'll say too, I don't know if others were doing this, but I think even visiting or going to apartments and things of that nature, I feel like you kind of pioneered that here in Charlotte. Like I said, I don't know if others were doing it, but I knew you were out there.
Oh yeah, we were definitely out there. It's funny that you say that because after that, it became a whole thing now, where like all these apartments have these food trucks and communities have food trucks. And I mean, we were at the DQ where Milk Bread is. We were at the DQ, waiting for people to come see us, and then apartments started to call us. So yeah, we kept the wheels turning, and it worked. It did.
Love that. So what I usually tell people is pivoting is key. And so what it sounds like is you were able to pivot.
Oh yeah.
You know,
sure.
Instead of saying, okay, we're closed, that's it. You were like, no, we're going to pivot. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out how to bring people to us.
Yeah.
So that's the key. Awesome. So how do you manage the logistics of running both a personal chef service as well as a food truck?
Oh man, it's a tug of war. In the beginning, I wanted to do. I always had a passion for cooking and creating, and I created a food truck, and it was going well, and I just wasn't fulfilled, right? Like I didn't feel like I was meeting what my passion was. So it was hard. I tried the thing where I had like few people running the food truck for me for a certain period of time, and that worked well. It did, but I think the fact of the matter is that, and I'm sure a lot of food truck owners would agree with me, is that it's not scalable, right? Because you're only out for a certain amount of time. You can only carry a certain amount of products, and everyone has to get paid regardless, right? So when you think about it that way and you start to see the numbers, I had to scale it back on the food truck quite a bit. And I chose to do the personal chef thing a little bit more. At the time, I felt like, the profit margins was more so in favor of the chef traveling and doing the personal chef thing. But I still do the food truck, and now I'm able to manage both. I'm able to fill the truck schedule when I'm not away. And then when I am away, like I don't have any bookings or anything like that. So we're not necessarily missing out on anything. And it gives me the ability to do both. It gives me the ability to have a little freedom off of the truck and get back to Charlotte and do what I love. So I like that yin and yang thing I got going right now.
Nice. So what I'm hearing is flexibility.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. You have the flexibility to do whatever you want to do when you feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that you don't necessarily have to choose one or the other, but you figured out a way to kind of get the best of both worlds here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So what makes your food truck stand out in the bustling food scene of Charlotte?
Oh man. That's crazy because there's so many great food trucks in Charlotte. So many. I would say we rival DC. DC people don't hate me, but I'm just saying, But I think what makes it stand out is the fact that I have I cater to my audience, I guess. Like I know exactly what the people that come to my food truck are looking for. And I make sure that I have it, if that makes sense. And it's been to a point now where like I can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm going to change a whole menu. And those people trust me. If they come to the truck and I don't have their special sandwich or wrap or roll, that they can pick something else and get just as much flavor, just as much quality. So I think I built a level where my followers know exactly that they can trust my palate,
right, to
kind of give them something new, something interesting, right? And we change. We never have a set menu, we change all the time. And that's it keeps me happy, and it gives them something new too. So I think adapting to my audience has been my my biggest uplift for sure. So
I love that you said that, because a lot of times people try to cater to everybody, but the fact that you know who your audience is and you're catering to them, that helps to give you a foothold in the city, right? They know when they come to Wrap and Roll, they know what they're coming for, and like you said, you can change the menu and they can trust whatever anything that's new on the menu. So that's awesome. So how do you decide what goes on the menu? So you did say customer preferences play a big role. So how do you decide?
Well, we are seafood based, so I gotta have seafood. That's a must. It's a must. It's a must have, and that's something that's different from other trucks too. We do offer seafood, lobster, crab, shrimp. But back to your question, how do I decide? It's always just something that inspires me. I can be in the store, I can be in the farmer's market. If I see something, I'm like, oh man, you know what? That would be great with this, or I should put this on the menu just to try it out and see what happens. Most recently, just yesterday, we started a new menu, and the same thing happened. I saw something in the store. I was like, man, I really like that. I haven't played with it, so let's see what we can do, and it's sold out. So I find inspiration everywhere, all over the place. Even the people, some of the food trucks in Charlotte, they inspire me to do some things, and so everywhere around you is always inspiration. You just gotta keep your eyes open.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. No, I love that. Awesome. So I love seafood. So awesome. Okay, so now let's switch to the other side, the operation side of business, right? Because I think a lot of times when people come into entrepreneurship, they are not expecting the finance side. So it's one thing to be passionate about food and cooking, creating experiences. But it's a whole nother thing about being a business owner. So I know you mentioned in the beginning, you was like, I don't know how to, I didn't know anything about being a business owner, but how did you navigate?
Oh man, trial and error. That's it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said if someone was trying to get into the business, like, what do you recommend? I should have went and talked to someone. I should have went and talked to another food truck owner and asked them, like, how do you pay your taxes?
Right.
How do you, what are you paying your hourly wage? How do you manage your food costs? How do you keep up with your food costs? And for me, I didn't do that. So it was an error on my end. But trial and error was how I learned. I probably didn't see a profit for the first 2 years, and that's the reality of the situation. In a lot of different instances, you think that you create a concept and you get a food truck and you're on your way. Well, that's just the bottom of the hill. You still got a long hill to climb up before you can actually see a profit or see any light, right? So trial and error was my it was a gift and a curse. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, no, that's really it. That's the key to entrepreneurship, because again, you can know one side of it, and you can even hear someone else's journey, but it isn't until you get out here and start trying things. And I wouldn't even say failing, because I don't feel like there's any failures in business. There's lessons, right?
There you go. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. So one of the questions I'm often asked, as an accountant, is people always are asking about funding. So how did you find funding for your business?
I would say for me, it was opportunity. So I mentioned Mr. Millard, Robert Millard, who's the chairman of MIT. I went out to his house just to cook for him. I told you earlier that I never met the family. I didn't know who. I Googled them before I went, right? So I knew what the faces looked like, and things like that. But I didn't know them, and honestly, like, sometimes in life, if you give people a chance, you meet some really good people.
Absolutely,
you meet some really, really good people, and we struck it off, and we've been best friends ever since. Nice. Yeah, we've been best friends. So he helped me fund the food truck.
Awesome.
I was already working and saving to get out, but he helped me fund the food truck, and he gave me a really, really good deal. Thank God, because these banks be tripping.
Right. Okay.
But he gave me a really, really good deal, and luckily our partnership has been like phenomenal. Like, we're still partners. We're still, looking to do other things together, and it's just an ongoing situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the man. he's the man behind it, but I'm the man that's actually putting out the food, right? So
yeah,
it's
nice.
been nice. Yeah.
And that's nice to have that collaboration too. Like I feel like it takes a lot of the stress off because, or not a lot, but some, because like you said, banks are tripping. It's hard to get it financing. And I see so often on, again, social media and things of that nature, I see people are like, oh, here's how you can create an LLC and get $90,000 from the bank. And it's like, it's not that easy.
I wish.
I
wish. What?
And then on the flip side of that, so you do get $90,000 from the bank, but do you know what your next month's payment is going to be?
Yep.
Has the business generated enough income to cover that payment, right? Yeah. So not having that gives you a leg up a little bit, gives you some room. So that's beautiful. So what's one piece of advice that you'd give an aspiring chef from a financial perspective?
Oh, man. Start small.
Love it.
Start small. Don't be afraid to start small. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I think in business, the thing about business is it's never about what you make. It's all about what you keep, right? Like you can start big and you can make $1 million, but if you're paying out, $950,000, then you're not making any money. You're making the same salary that you would have made if you stayed at your 9 to 5, right? So start small, figure out your profit margins. Figure out what is gross, what is net, what's operational costs, what is outside costs outside of your operational costs, your fees, your taxes, Start small, figure out those things first, and then head into something bigger. Absolutely. So I think that's a key part of success.
Absolutely. And that was great advice, especially, like I said, as an accountant, I have these conversations daily. And I think a lot of times people focus so much on the gross. So the fact that you're throwing out terms like, knowing your net, knowing, operational costs, like that's beautiful because that is what you need to know coming into this. Because again, people are like, I had a 6-figure year. Well, 6 figures really ain't nothing. When you're a business owner, $100,000 is nothing.
Yeah. Goes fast.
It goes fast. Because you're going to spend, listen, it's crazy. So, like I'll even say, my first full year in entrepreneurship, my goal was to get to 100,000, right? I was like, if I just make what my salary was at corporate, I'll be okay. No, you will not. No, I learned the hard way. I was like, oh God, this is not. Because you got business expenses. Yeah. And then you got to pay people before you pay yourself.
That's right. You get paid last.
Ain't
that something?
It is. But you work the most oftentimes, you know? So, absolutely. So I love that. Look, I could talk the financials part all day and tomorrow. Awesome. So now we're going to switch a little bit and talk about growth. So what's been the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur in Charlotte's food industry?
Oh, man. I would say at this point in my career, the most rewarding part is having choices. I mean, we've been in it for quite some time now. Things have grown, things have changed. We know exactly, what our revenue is going to look like every single week.
I love it.
So I have the opportunity now to say, you know what, I'm going to take those 3 days off, and I'm going to not work and go do something else, right? So before, over the past 5 years, I haven't had that. I haven't had the opportunity to say, I'm going to go spend a week with my mom, So being able to do that now, oh man, it feels so good. It really does feel good. Yeah. So I think, that's it.
I love it. I love it. I agree. Because I know, like, for me, I wanted the summer off to spend with the kids. But because the last couple summers was just busy, just working, and I think for me, it finally hit this summer. Because things were slow because, we were taking time off, but I was like, I'd rather this. This is what I got into entrepreneurship for, not working every day. And so I love that you said that because that really is the most rewarding part, you know?
It is. Yeah, it is. I love it.
Yeah, no,
More of
I
it.
love it for you. Awesome. So can you share any future plans or goals for your business?
Oh man. Yeah, for sure. We're always trying to innovate. Like we're trying to try new things, and I'm trying new things. And so, for myself, I think, what do I have coming up? I have a bunch of personal chef things coming up on that side of things. So, um, I was lucky to this past gig. I connected with a bunch of cool people that are just gonna take me and let me do what I do, and so that's coming up. As far as rap and roll though, I think we're gonna try to venture out and do something in Atlanta.
Nice.
Atlanta is like it's close to my home, it's close to my heart. So we're looking at possibilities, spaces. We don't know what we're gonna do there, but we know we're gonna put a footprint there. In terms of starting soon. I hope maybe in the wintertime when it slows down here, we'll try to go to Atlanta and get there before the World Cup and all these different activities that are coming there. I think now is if you're an entrepreneur, now is a great time to like think 2 years ahead, right? So if we can like take that step, shoot, man, I think we'll be trucking there too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Right. Yeah. Listen, that's exciting. That's amazing. The staying 2 steps ahead. Like I love that, and that's really what you want to do as a business owner is being able to project and see the future. That helps you to prepare for your next step where you want to go. And I love that. I think a lot of times what we see is people think that there's like a natural progression from food truck to opening a restaurant or something to that nature. But I love how you're like, we're going to go to Atlanta and see what we can do there and kind of, build something there because there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming in the next couple of years. So I love that. Awesome. So how has the Charlotte community embraced your business and what role do local events play in your success?
Oh, Charlotte's been great. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Charlotte's been great. I think we definitely have our unique clientele that's, we're not out all the time, right? But when we are, they show up. They show up in abundance, and we appreciate it. One thing you'll probably notice is that we go to the same places over and over again. It's strategic. We do that strategically. Like we'll go to a place in Uptown, we'll go to a place in University, we'll do Ballantyne, and we know that like we have clientele in each one of those areas. So if we're in your area, they're going to meet us there. So that part is strategic. In terms of the events that go on in Charlotte, oh man, that's huge. That's huge. Just Saturday we did the Belt Bowl at the Panther Stadium, which was really, really cool. But they invite us every single year. FC, they always invite us out to do like employee luncheons or to do like a fan day. And those are moments that we look forward to because A, it lets us know that I'm still popping in Charlotte. B, it's just good to connect with the community. We do some fundraisers where we give back. We do a lot of things with the Mint Museums. And they always call us. We have a contract with them like year in and year out. So those things definitely help keep us afloat along with our regulars. So both of them play a 50-50 part in making sure that we keep the doors open.
Nice. Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome. So some big opportunities. I remember what I was going to say. So I love how there's a saying that your network is your net worth.
Hey, I like that.
You like that, right?
I like that. Yeah, I do.
And as you talk about your experience and the opportunities that have come to you, I feel like that has been where you've been most successful is, being able to network and be around people that can take you, that elevate you and take you to bring other opportunities to you. So I think that's amazing. And that's a part of entrepreneurship that people don't understand.
Right.
Coming into it. And so I love that you've tapped into those opportunities,
That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about,
So yeah, no, that was a good one. I just remembered that. Okay, so do you collaborate with other local chefs or businesses in Charlotte? And if so, how has that impacted your growth?
Businesses, yeah, mostly the city of Charlotte. Other chefs, not so much. I would love to. I would love to. So if there's any chefs that want to reach out and or have any ideas that want to incorporate or do something in Charlotte, I would love to. I mean, if you're a chef, I got respect for you because it's not an easy job. But most of my time, if I'm not on the truck, then I'm probably in Atlanta. If I'm not in Atlanta, I'm working somewhere else, right? So I don't necessarily spend a lot of free time in Charlotte. I should. I love it. I just when I'm not working, I'm either separated from work or I'm working somewhere else. So that's kind of been my life over the past 6 years now.
Yeah. Awesome. And then what do you love most about being an entrepreneur in Charlotte?
I think entrepreneurship in Charlotte it's great because of and people think that when you say the word competition, it's like a negative thing, but it's not. It's what moves the needle, right? Because if there wasn't competition, then there is no expectation, right, to create something great, right? So I would say that the best part of entrepreneurship in Charlotte is the competition. There's so many great chefs, so many great trucks, and if you want to be known and continue to grow in Charlotte, right, you got to be able to compete, So I think that's been something that whether I'm in Charlotte or outside of Charlotte, it's something that I'll take with me everywhere, and that's thanks to Charlotte, right? So I think that's it. The competition here is phenomenal.
Fantastic. And I love that you said competition doesn't have to be a negative thing, because I feel like so many people feel like competition means we have to be, we don't have to like each other. We have to, someone has to be better than the other. But really, it's just, it's in our economy.
It is.
It's to compete.
It is in everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So, yeah.
All right, so now we're going to switch a little bit to personal insights and future vision. So what's one lesson that you've learned in your entrepreneurial journey that you wish you knew sooner?
Oh, man. I think financial literacy. I just, I grew up, with my grandmother, mom, and dad, and for us, being financial stable was just making sure you had clothes on the table and food to eat, right? And you made it to school. I didn't learn a lot about credit. I didn't learn a lot about bills and savings and a bank account, a credit card. I didn't know anything about any of those things, right? So I guess being an entrepreneur it taught me. It'll teach you fast. It'll teach you fast. The government will teach you fast.
Okay.
Right? So I think that's one thing that that I've learned is that wherever I go, that I'll take with me into any avenue of business. Is knowing your finances, knowing what that means. So I hope that answered your question.
No, it did. Yeah. It was the perfect. So you hear that, the finance piece, okay? And so I love that you said that, because like I said, in working with other entrepreneurs, a lot of times people don't work with an accountant or seek out an accountant until it's too late, until they get that first, tax bill that's like has a comma in it,
Man, they're coming to get it.
They're coming to get it, and you're like, I don't even have this, So I love that you said that, the financial literacy aspect, because it is so big. It's huge to your success. You mentioned previously, knowing your numbers. I stress that all the time, is know your numbers, because it tells you exactly how the business is going and where you can go. So I love that you said that. And then where do you see the food truck and the personal chef industry heading in the next few years, and how are you preparing for that future?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I kind of I have the passion, so I kind of just let it unfold the way it does. That's been like my plan. I get asked a lot, like, are you going to open a restaurant? We've had the opportunity, but it's been tricky, right? Like Charlotte's a tricky place.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of my favorite restaurants come and go.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens on a daily, and I can't quite put my finger on why it's happening. Cost of rent, leases, and all those things. I'm sure has a big play in it. But for myself, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I'm not done fulfilling what my journey is. Right. So, opening a restaurant and being behind the line every single day in and day out, I don't think I'm ready for that.
Right.
I still got a lot of things to create. I look at it as art. Like an artist, they paint and they just have a vision of what they want to put on a canvas, and then they sell it. Right? They're not tied to anything. They're free, and I like that aspect of my career is that I'm free. If Bill Gates calls me tomorrow and says, "Yo,
Right.
I'm coming. I'm on the way. Which jet you want to be
Exactly.
on? You picking me up?" No, but seriously, I like to be free, and so I don't know if I necessarily have the answer to the question. I don't know what's going to happen with Rap and Roll. I know we're going to try Atlanta. The chef bookings keep coming in, so I'm going to keep doing those, and if I can grow that and bring people with me on that journey, I think that would be cool. If we did do a restaurant, I have a few ideas where I could keep the passion alive in terms of creating a demand with a small group, a small place, and I know I'm only going to do 20 people that night, and I can charge enough money to cover that. We're not quite there yet. I still need to keep building the name, building the brand. But if I was going to do a restaurant, I think it would be something along that line, for sure.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you said, you have the freedom to basically move how you want to, right? And not be tied to a restaurant having to be on the line 5-6 nights a week or what have you. I love that because I think, like I said before, I think people feel like the natural progression or what you have to do is, go from the food truck to the restaurant. But you're like, no, I kind of want to go where the wind takes me,
Exactly.
And that just shows that there's so many more possibilities than just, in this industry. So I love that. And you're kind of open that up to other people. So I do love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chef Josh. This has been amazing.
It's been fun. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so I'm going to ask you one last question. What is your favorite thing on the menu right now?
Oh, favorite thing on the Rap and Roll menu right now. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say the Krabby B.
Krabby B.
I named it after Cardi B. All the names are like after some name, some song or some artist or something. So it's a crab cake. It has brown sugar and chili cured bacon, whole grain mustard aioli, arugula, and tomato. It's like a BLT type of thing. But people line up for it. And I promise I'll never take it off the menu. It's there to stay. If you haven't tried it, please come try it.
Yes. So where can they follow you? What's your socials?
Yeah. So Rap and Roll CLT is our Instagram for the truck, and I'm Chef J. Kitchens on Instagram. I'm always posting, always updating the schedule where you can come see us. So be on the lookout for me.
Absolutely, check him out. I'm telling you, you won't want to miss it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to the CLT Biz Pod. It has been a pleasure having you, and I'm so excited to see your journey and what you do next. So we will definitely stay tuned, and that is it for now, but stay tuned for our next episodes. Again, I am Ashley Boti, your host with the most, and we're out.